All right, let's dive straight into today's explainer. We're stepping into a beautiful storybook tale about something we all deal with, but let's be honest, rarely master. Yep, I'm talking about money. And we're going to experience this through the eyes of two young siblings, their vibrant local neighborhood, and a truly wise shopkeeper. This isn't just a simple story about coins. It's a magical little journey that can completely shift how we think about the cash in our own pockets.
There's this fantastic quote right at the heart of our story. Money is like a seed. You can spend it fast or make it grow. It perfectly frames that fundamental choice we all face, right? Instant gratification versus long-term financial growth. So often, we just look at money as a tool to grab what we want right this second. But what if we looked at it as a seed that actually needs patience to cultivate? Let's meet the characters who are going to show us exactly how this works.
Section 1. The neighborhood and the shop, where it all begins. So in this neighborhood, we meet two very different siblings. First up is 10-year-old Mateo. He's joyful, he absolutely loves soccer, and he is totally obsessed with sweets. His financial strategy? Well, the literal second he gets any money, he sprints off to spend it. Then we have his 12-year-old sister, Valentina. She's calm, she's super organized, and she always carries this small notebook where she tracks her goals and, most importantly, her savings. They really represent the two completely different ways most of us approach our own finances.
Section 2. Mateo's Mistake. The 10 Souls.
One Saturday afternoon, their mom gives them each a gift of 10 souls, telling them to buy something they truly want. Now, Valentina carefully tucks her money away, but Mateo, he doesn't hesitate for a second. With his eyes gleaming, he sprints straight to Don Lucho's shop, completely focused on immediate indulgence. He proudly announces that today, he's spending everything. Now, Don Lucho gently tries to drop a little wisdom, suggesting that money can build much bigger things. But Mateo is not listening. He buys chocolates, candies, soda, potato chips, gummy bears, and a massive packet of assorted sweets. Within minutes, every single coin is gone. He walks out happy, munching on candy, but that happiness, it's incredibly short-lived.
Just an hour later, the reality of his choices hits him hard. First off, he's got a terrible stomachache from all that junk food. But worse, he walks over to the park and sees his friends playing with a brand new, shiny soccer ball. They tell him they all chipped in and saved for a month to buy it. Mateo reaches into his pocket, and it's completely empty. He has absolutely nothing. He can't even afford to contribute a single coin to play with the new ball. He realizes, painfully, that he basically traded lasting joy for a fleeting sugar rush.
Valentina finds him sitting there, just full of regret. When he admits he wasted everything, Valentina opens her little notebook to reveal an incredible secret. 38 souls. Mateo is totally stunned. How in the world does she have 38 souls? Well, Valentina explains that she's simply stopped making small, unnecessary purchases and saved her coins every single day for weeks. It's the quiet magic of patience and delayed gratification.
Section 3. The 3 Coins. Don Lucho's Lesson. Right at that moment, our wise mentor, Don Lucho, wanders over to the park. He notices Mateo's realization, reaches into his pocket, and places 3 coins on a bench. Now, pay close attention here, because these are Don Lucho's absolute golden rules, and they are the core of everything we're talking about today. He points to the first coin and says, "This is to enjoy." He points to the second. "This is to save." And then he touches the third coin, sharing the most magical key of all. And this is to create something bigger. He teaches Mateo that enjoying your money isn't a bad thing. The mistake is just spending it all without a plan. Intentionally dividing your money into these 3 specific habits, enjoying, saving, and creating, that is the true secret to financial empowerment.
Mateo, naturally curious, asks what creating something bigger actually means, and Don Lucho explains it perfectly. You see, it's not just about hoarding cash in a jar, it's about purpose. It could be starting a business, a family goal, or a profound dream. It's literally anything truly important to you. Saving without a goal is just math, but saving for a goal, that is motivation. And this completely shifts Mateo's perspective. You can practically see the gears in his head finally start turning. Section 4. The Family Challenge, 7 Days of Saving. That night at dinner, so inspired by what they've learned, Valentina pitches this brilliant idea, the Great Family Savings Challenge. For 7 days, the entire family will completely avoid buying unnecessary things, and all that unspent money will go straight into a piggy bank. Their shared goal? A family trip.
Now, day 1 is tough. Mateo stares at the sweets in the shop, but he takes a deep breath, remembers his goal, and walks away. By day 3, the whole family is completely in sync. Mom is baking at home instead of buying desserts, Dad is turning off unused lights to save electricity, and Mateo skips his daily soda. Every evening, they hear that incredibly satisfying clink, clink as coins drop into the piggy bank. During the week, Don Lucho keeps encouraging them by sharing his own backstory. He explains that his beloved shop didn't just magically appear out of nowhere. He started with almost nothing, but by working hard, being incredibly patient, and saving daily, he built his entire livelihood. Saving gives you opportunities. His philosophy is simple but so profound. Small decisions create big dreams. Section 5. The Great Mountain, the result of the effort.
Finally, we reach day 7. The whole family gathers around the dining room table, and that piggy bank is surprisingly heavy. His dad carefully opens the lid, and the coins just tumble out until they form a massive physical mountain right there on the table. Valentina counts it all out, and the final number is staggering: 72 souls. In just one single week, simply by cutting out unnecessary tiny expenses, the family managed to save 72 souls. Mateo is overjoyed. That family trip is no longer just a dream. It's actually happening.
Mateo learns that being smart with money isn't about stripping away all the joy in life. It's about making choices that actually build your dreams. So that very night, to make sure he never forgets Don Lucho's lesson, Mateo writes a sign in big, bold letters and tapes it up right in his bedroom. It reads, "Before you spend, think about your goal." It serves as this constant daily reminder to just pause for a second before acting impulsively. And that sign prompts him to ask himself this vital question every single time he holds a coin. Does this bring me closer to or further from my dreams? By simply adopting this mindset, the story tells us, Mateo began to transform into a little millionaire. Not because he suddenly had endless piles of cash lying around, but because he mastered the art of making excellent, intentional decisions. Section 6. Your own challenge, a challenge for the listeners. Which brings us right back to you watching this explainer right now. We're issuing a challenge directly to you and your family. Here is Valentina's exact blueprint for you. Step 1. For the next 7 days, completely avoid buying sweets, extra coffees, or any unnecessary impulsive items. Step 2. Every single time you skip a purchase, physically take that money and put it into a jar or piggy bank. Step 3. At the end of the week, sit down together and track exactly how much you managed to save. But remember Don Lucho's advice: a challenge is nothing without a destination. So I'm going to leave you with this final provocative thought to discuss at dinner tonight. What dream or goal do you want to achieve as a family? Figure that out, divide your coins intentionally, and watch your seed grow. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and hey, good luck with your 7-day challenge.